Hello, Merry Christmas and welcome to the Mean Speech. Whether you be at home on your own or with your family on board, this is an alternative way to spend this part of Christmas Day. It's 3 p.m. I am competing with the Queen for audience numbers, but I'm sure that we can beat her out as the show goes on. You can tweet me to take part in the show, or indeed ask me literally any question that you want, any question at all. You can tweet me at Alexi Bennett and I will respond to you. Merry Christmas, how is your Christmas going? I'm on my first alcoholic drink of the day, which one of many alcoholic drinks. Just going to briefly check something. Let's have a look. Looking good. Good. Well, hopefully that's everybody settled and we can crack on with the Mean Speech. The first thing to do, of course, it is Christmas. So I've prepared some Christmas cracker jokes for reasons of frivolity. First Christmas cracker joke. What does Rudolph have for Christmas dinner? A smaller, weaker Rudolph. How does Santa Claus fit down your chimney? He's thinner than the mainstream media would have you believe. Frosty the Snowman had a huge heart attack, and whilst falling to the floor, he hit his head, damaging his brain and putting him into a deep, deep coma. Where was Frosty taken? The ICU. ICU. What's the best thing about being an elf? Their surprisingly powerful union. There we go. That's some Christmas cracker jokes to just warm us up, get us in the Christmas spirit. But I think now it's time to go to the main point of order for today. We all understand that the greatest Christmas film ever made, possibly the greatest film ever made, is Gremlins 2, The New Batch, which is only shown at Christmas because the first Gremlins film is set at Christmas, the second one has nothing to do with it, but we all know that Gremlins 2, The New Batch is the greatest film ever made, and it raises lots of questions about life, community, business, but today I'd like to solve the biggest question that Gremlins raises. Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? This is the question that I would like responses on, if you could. I need to know, Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? Obviously, you are spoilt for choice. Now, the obvious choice would be Greta. She's got the glamour. She's a looker. She's keen to meet new people, let's put it that way. But do you want to go for the obvious choice? Do you want to go for something a bit different? But Greta, if you absolutely had to, would it be Greta? You could, of course, go for the bad boy of the group, which is Stripe here. Now, listen, I can't deny it. In my life, I've often gone for the dangerous option as a choice of partner. So my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. Stripe. Would Stripe be your pick? Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? You can comment on the YouTube stream or via my Twitter handle here. Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? Tweet me to give your opinion. Which one and why? And then, of course, the stoic old Gizmo. Heart of gold, adventurous when he needs to be. But let's say it, he's the safe option, isn't he? He's the safe option. You've got Greta for a night of passion. You've got Stripe if you're just in a bad way and you need to fuck something. Gizmo, you're looking long-term partner with Gizmo, but gets a bit stale, gets a bit boring. If you absolutely had to, would it be Gizmo? Let me know. My Twitter handle. I will be coming back to this. I need responses. So that's what I want to keep going. Mull it over. Get your answers in before the end of the stream. Obviously, Gremlins 2 is an absolute classic. But there's lots of other entertainment options this year for Christmas. So I thought a useful service I could provide to you would be to run through from some of my TV recommendations for the Christmas period. So while you're thinking about Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? I'm going to give you some of my TV recommendations for the festive period. So let's have a look at what's on the box. So, my first Christmas pick for TV recommendations is the Gruffalufferwuff animation. The Gruffalufferwuff. In a small town, after many family pets go missing, a young boy investigates a mysterious wood and finds the Gruffalufferwuff, voiced by James Corden. The Gruffalufferwuff stole the town's pets, hoping people would blame the local gypsies, and is now conducting medical experiments on them. He and the boy use their findings to win the Nobel Peace Prize. That's the Gruffalufferwuff at 11 a.m. on BBC One. My next choice would be Some Cunt Wanking On About the War Yet Again. It would hardly be Christmas without a sobering reminder of the atrocities committed nearly 80 years ago. So this year, Hugh Edwards is going to run naked into a field of landmines with "Lest We Forget" written on his backside. That's Some Cunt Wanking On About the War Yet Again at 12 p.m. on Channel 5. My next pick would be, it's a British favourite, Wallace and Gromit in Dog Eat Dog. Wallace and Gromit are living the high life after Wallace's techno trousers are a huge success. Everyone is wearing them. But after a hilarious malfunction causes the trousers to viciously castrate anyone wearing them, half of North Yorkshire is left looking very silly beneath the willy. After losing the business, Wallace forces Gromit to fight other dogs in the back room of a pub for money. That's Wallace and Gromit in Dog Eat Dog, 2:15 on Film 4. Then, of course, absolute standard, Her Majesty the Queen, the Queen's speech. Her Majesty the Queen will lay eggs in a bathtub and swallow a stillborn calf. That's the Queen's speech at 3 p.m. on Dave. Next recommendation would be Michael Ball in concert. Maintaining eye contact with the camera, Housewives' favourite Michael Ball bellows his rendition of Down with the Sickness 23 times. That's Michael Ball in concert at 3:30 on Sky News Arabia. My next recommendation, Morecambe and Wise from Beyond the Grave. The nation's favourite funny men are dragged out of their final resting places and interviewed aggressively by David Walliams. Clips of their best work are projected onto the faces of comedians who've lost all their work this year and would love to have made a Christmas comedy show. That's Morecambe and Wise from Beyond the Grave at 5 p.m. on ITV. Next, of course, it's Mrs. Brown's Lost Boys. Lovable matriarch Agnes Brown travels to the orphanage where, as a teenager, nuns sold her bastard children to wealthy Americans. The children come back as vampires, and hilarity ensues. That's Mrs. Brown's Lost Boys, 7 p.m, Discovery Home and Health Plus 1. And my final recommendation for television this year is the big fat quiz of the Y chromosome. 6 of the country's top male comedians and a pile of mud crudely shaped into a vagina answer quick-fire questions about culture, sport, and the first time they truly experienced grief. That's Big Fat Quiz of the Y Chromosome at 9 p.m. on Al Jazeera. So those are my Christmas TV recommendations. I hope you all keep your answers for Gremlins. If you had to, which one would you? Please tweet me with your answer to that question or get me on the YouTube chat. But it is Christmas time and I have a message from a very, very special person. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Santa Claus. Santa Claus with a special message for us all.
Good afternoon, good day, Merry Christmas to you, Alexander Bennett. I am Santa Claus. You may be wondering why I don't look like him, and that is because the old one died, and I have been employed in his stead, as is the plot of a famous film. However, any similarity therein ends there. Merry Christmas. I'm delighted you've asked me to provide a Christmas message for your Christmas broadcast. It really is delightful to be asked. Of course, this video message is pre-recorded as I'm currently travelling around the world delivering presents to all of the wonderful boys and girls who've been good enough to receive them this year. In answer to your question, what my tips are for a Christmas alone, which of course many people may be spending their days alone due to the unprecedented times in which we live, my tip would be that you can still access a wide array of illegal narcotics via the dark web, or perhaps just some guys who hang around outside your house. So that would be my tip. See if you can scrape together some money from the cash point, or invest in Bitcoin, and then purchase some drugs that way. It's a great way to knock out the remainder of a tricky, lonesome Christmas, and come up, if not smiling, then certainly come up awake on Boxing Day or the 27th. Another difficult day, so you might want to then dose up again and see if you can make it through to the new year in a comatose state. My question for you, Alexander Bennett, on this your Christmas Day broadcast would be, if all of the presents which you had purchased for your family were destroyed in an explosion, what would you buy them? So it's let's say it's sort of Christmas Eve. It's moments until the shop's shut. All of your presents have been destroyed in an explosion. Perhaps you're only able to access a garage, a garage, petrol station. What would you get for your family in those circumstances? Merry Christmas and bye.
So, special question for me from Santa Claus there. What would I buy my family if all of their presents were exploded? And there's a very simple answer to that question. The answer is glue. Well, I think that's very productive. We have an answer to the gremlins. If you absolutely had to, which one would you? From, let me get a better angle on myself. We have an answer from, I'm terribly sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, Alnara Mevolhon. Is going to say Gizmo, and she's saying, we've had enough evil this year, going with the good one. Now, I understand that completely. 2020 has been pretty rough, but in terms of lovemaking, sometimes pretty rough is what you need, just to exercise something of yourself. Sorry. Well, next on the agenda, I'm in a privileged position because I have made it back to the family home for Christmas, and your family home may be the same, depending on your relationship with your family. Ours is completely cluttered with irrelevant shit that myself and my sister made as children. So I thought I would review some of our childish artwork, and because I think it gives an idea of who we've grown into. So first up is these are both ceramic pieces, and the first one here is made by my sister, approximately sort of age 8 or 9. And I don't know if you can see that particularly well. So it's a ceramic piece. We have bunny rabbits, a lion, I think that is, and a sort of deformed boy, and then a person. And the message says, peace between animals and humans. So that's what my sister was trying to achieve with this piece of artwork. They say great art can bring people together. Can it bring people and animals together? Peace between animals and humans. This is a childish fantasy. What do we want to do? We want to eat animals. What do animals want to do? They want to eat us. Our societies and cultures are incompatible. I am just glad to be on the winning team in that regard. Pathetic, but it shows the optimism of youth. I was a slightly different youth. For the same school assignment, this is what I made. This is a broken down old house with a sign on it saying, go away. No peace between me and the animals there, or indeed anyone. Genuinely made this as a child. And, well, if you were to sum up my personality in a piece of clay, this is pretty much it. Good times. So I've been wandering around my hometown at night for reasons of getting out of the house. And I came across a very sad scene because obviously this year lots of people have had to postpone momentous events. And one of those events very often for people is weddings. And I walked past a bridal shop in my hometown, and it's really, I think, captured the mood of a nation just in the bridal shop. Let's take a look at that bridal shop. So there is the image through the window at these absolutely horrific bridal mannequins. Yes, we're going to get a closer look, but I just want you to join me in imagining what these women are actually like. So first up, we've got Beryl here. Stern old Beryl. I think Beryl wanted a very traditional service in a church, and I venture to suggest that there was more of her guests invited than there were her husbands. I think it would be a long marriage ending in suicide. Next, we have Portia. Everything at Portia's wedding would be glittering. Taste is a matter of opinion, but I think everybody could say it would be pretty tasteless at Portia's wedding. Portia would get too drunk and break down crying during her first dance to Peter Gabriel's Book of Love. Next, we've got Edwina. Edwina had a wedding that was themed around the Battle of Orgreave, the police clash with mining protesters in the north of England at some point during the 80s. Lots of people died. She wanted to make a point by theming her wedding around that skirmish. Very poorly attended, that particular wedding. Serena. Serena has a Disney-themed wedding. She's being given away by Mickey Mouse. The vicar is goofy. Serena is delighted. Her parents made a conscious choice not to hire a wedding photographer. And finally, we have Chris. Chris doesn't know the second name of the person that she's getting married to. She knows how it's spelt. She doesn't know how it's pronounced. It's Chris for you. So, returning to the agenda. It's time to check in with the big question. Question on everyone's lips today. Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? Paul Savage chips in with the girl one. It's not enough. The girl one. I want to know why. Greta's a fine choice, but she's the obvious choice. She's got the looks. Sometimes we want a bit of substance. Not saying that she doesn't have any substance. I'm just saying, bit of the obvious choice. There are more choices, of course. Daffy. Perfectly reasonable choice. Now, Daffy, it's a sense of humour. You know, sometimes in life, particularly during a year like this, you just need to laugh. You just need someone to lift the weight of the world off your shoulders by just making you cackle with laughter. And, you know, sometimes the funny one might not seem like the long-term choice, okay? But in the long run, it's the funny one who's going to make you happy. Because the funny one might not be the most financially secure and might not have other things that people have, like houses and cars and whatever. But it's that sense of humour and that idea of what's actually important in a relationship that might mean more in the long run. So it's not a bad idea to go for the funny one. Sorry, Daffy, perfectly good choice. Now, everybody says they want an intelligent partner. Everybody says that they want an intelligent partner. We've just paused you for a second there. We've just had something in from Isabel saying that Daffy is way too young. Well, I would say they're all too young, given that gremlins are sort of around for about 30 minutes after they're born. But I say they come out mature. is what I'm going to say. And Isabel also saying that Daffy is a terrible cook. That's a deep-cut Gremlins 2 reference there. Somebody, SK Wint Est, saying Stripe would defo dominate me. You've not said whether that's a positive or a negative, but if that's your kink, go for it, my friend. I think Stripe would be an excellent option for you. Everyone says they want an intelligent partner. Well, you've got it here. The brain gremlin. He's cultured, he's sophisticated, he's got a beautiful singing voice, but is he someone that you want to get pissed with and just fuck at 2 a.m? Brain gremlin, is that your choice? Keep these answers coming in. You can reply on YouTube, or you can talk to me via my Twitter handle at Alexi Bennett. Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? And why, of course. Then, of course, there's the wild card option for Gremlin to have sex with. Fozzie Bear. Would you have sex with Fozzie Bear? Is he your favourite Gremlin? Let me know. Next on the agenda, we have a question from your friend and mine. Mine, she's not your friend. Lulu Popplewell. Lulu Popplewell has a question for me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed whatever that was. And some questions I put to you. How many wanks do you usually get in on Christmas Day when you're with family versus when you're alone? Also turkey. I think it's shit chicken. And that's, people are like, oh, your dad's cooking it wrong. He's not. My dad's a great cook. It's shit chicken. I don't know how to. I'm saying this so you can open it up for debate, but there's no. It's not a question. It's just it's shit chicken.
So, Lulu's question there: is turkey just shit chicken? To which my response would be, yes, but there's a place for shit chicken. Sometimes you need the right thing to act as a vehicle for other things. Take the humble cracker. Crackers on their own are kind of disgusting, but add some cheese, some pate, maybe a pickled substance, you've got yourself a beautiful hors d'oeuvre. It's not. Yes, turkey is shit chicken, but it's about what goes with it, the gravy, cranberry sauce, if that's your vibe. The stuffing. Yes, it is shit chicken, but it has its place because sometimes good qualities need a very dull, boring package to deliver them. And it might not be about how they initially appear on a surface level. It might be about the extra things that they bring that bring value, flavour and character to a relationship. Sorry, turkey's fine. Turkey's absolutely fine. Long-standing Christmas tradition we're going to indulge in now. It's the winter season, it's the winter solstice, so it's long had spiritual connections and indeed occult connections this time of year. It's the changing of the season. Of course, we're going to be thinking about the dead, the deceased, and therefore the spooky and the supernatural. So I'm going to treat you to a very special Christmas horror story. Remember, you can still bring in those answers. Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? But first, draw the curtains, turn off the lights, and be chilled by this very special Christmas horror story. Hello there, friends. I'm going to tell you a story about a young woman called Susan, from about this time of year, from a town not far from your own. Susan was heading out to the local woods to meet her friends, but her mother was nervous about her leaving. Her mother said, "I heard the Claw has escaped from prison." Susan had heard about the Claw before. The Claw was a man who had replaced an amputated hand with a butcher's hook when Susan's mother was a young woman. He had killed many women in the local area. But Susan brushed off her mother's warning. She's been listening too intently to her friend's rumors, thought Susan. Susan drove into the local forest and proceeded to have a lot of fun with her friends. There was dancing, there was joking, there was music. And while they were trying to find their favorite pirate radio station to find the latest dance single, they heard a news report. The Claw has escaped from prison. Susan's mother was right. Not wishing to seem cowardly, the whole party of young people laughed off this news, but the unease setting into all of them was obvious. Susan made her excuses, got in a car, and left. It was when she reached the edge of the forest, Susan got a radio signal on her car radio. The Claw had been seen heading into the very woods she was just leaving. Being a good woman, a courageous woman, Susan turned the car around and went to go and warn her friends. But when she got to the spot where they'd all been gathered together, Susan found no evidence any of them had been there. No one around. No indication that there had been a fire, or dancing, or any of her friends. She called into the forest. She heard nothing. She looked around. She felt as if someone was looking at her. She got into her car. She was nervous. She didn't know what to do. And then Susan heard a very distinctive metal scrape against one of her car's back doors. Susan accelerated suddenly. The car shot forward. The car sped out of the woods, and Susan didn't stop screaming until her car was parked in her mother's driveway. She had escaped. She was sat in the car on her mother's driveway, panting, sweating, scared, but she was alive. It was only when Susan got out of the car and looked at the handle of the door from which she'd heard the metal scraping, where she found nothing. 3 years later, she fell off a shire horse and died. Merry Christmas. I recorded that drunk, can you tell? I think it's time for the final results. Gremlins, if you absolutely had to, which one would you? Well, going off of the feedback that we've had so far, I must say, it seems an overwhelming response. And really, this is an excellent way to end 2020, a year that has been so harsh. By far and away, the gremlin that most people have said that if they absolutely had to, which one would they? It's Gizmo. And that little creature with that heart of gold, being the one you almost want to fuck. If that isn't the Christmas spirit, I don't know what is. To close the show, I asked Lulu Popplewell to sum up this year in the form of a song. Please take it away, Lulu.
So you're all alone this Christmas, no granny, mum or dad, and you're feeling kinda shit, but it might not be all bad, 'cause this year there's stuff you're not obliged to do. Or maybe the real winner here is you. You don't have to listen to Granny or her racist chat, or your creepy uncle saying, come sit on my lap. It's just you and the gin and the Christmas tree. There's no fights over Jenga or passive bigotry. No screaming nephews to harsh your vibe. You can hang out with your wang out. What a time to be alive. 'Cause this year with COVID-19 to thank, you can have yourself a Christmas wank. You don't have to put up with your aunt's abrasive voice, or hearing her say that being gay is a choice. You can eat what you want, avoid fights in the kitchen. Fuck turkey anyway, oh it's just shit chicken. Yes, your nieces are cute, but the loud stalking fillers of toy recorders are such boner killers. So this year with COVID-19 to thank, you can have yourself a Christmas wank. Subject to your family's demands. You're free to do stuff with your filthy festive hands. It's just you and a dupe and a bottle of lube. Put on the Queen's speech if that does it for you. Fuck Christmas crackers, pull yourself off instead, and enjoy some Pornhub from the comfort of your bed. 'Cause this year with COVID-19 to thank, you can have yourself a Christmas wank.
Thank you very much indeed for watching the Mean Speech, contributions from Andy, Barr and Lulu Popplewell, who you can follow on Twitter just here. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That really helps me. If you're feeling a bit flush, you can support me by contributing to my Ko-fi, which is, there's a link in the description on YouTube. Thank you very much indeed for watching The Mean Speech. Please retweet my TV recommendations, which, let's face it, is the funniest bit. So I'm putting it out on Twitter, and I will be reviewing the Queen's speech at some point later today. So please retweet that. That would help me. Follow all these lovely people. Follow me on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. Wherever you are, however you're spending Christmas, I hope you have a good day. Merry Christmas.